Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? So, we are continuing on with planting this field here. I've leased a trailer and I've taken some stuff back to the main yard. We've got 3% left in this planter. I'm kind of hoping that we can use up the last 60 poplar saplings before we reach the end of the row. I had to stop down the other end and move the machinery in the shed so that it could carry on, and then when I put it back going, it turned the wrong direction, which is slightly concerning. I'm a bit concerned that it's going to try and go back towards the edge of the field rather than going into the unmarked part of the field. It appears that this machine doesn't recognise that the poplars are planted in the field. It won't sort of pick up on them or anything, which, if that's the case, could be a bit of a problem when it comes to restarting them for moving. Because I mean, I haven't had to restart yet. I'm continuing on from yesterday's recording and doing some more now. So yes, we've made it to the end and we're just turning around. So my question for this week is, we're going to Gorale. That is the map that has been chosen, overwhelmingly chosen, I might add. So when we leave, do you want me to take from here 1.5 million, which would represent field sold, machinery sold, that sort of thing, or 1,200,000 pigs, or 1,150,000 sheep, or 1,100,000 cows? Now those numbers have been picked very specifically because they're as close to 500,000 worth of each of those animals as we can get. Now the pigs, obviously, that's 600,000. I suppose I should have slightly less, but I thought that would be okay. Cows is exactly 500,000's worth, and 150 sheep is I think that's exactly it as well. I'm not quite sure. Right, we have stopped work unexpectedly. Tank is empty, so we're gonna go and we're gonna get the loader over here. So yeah, anyway, that's the options. 1.5 million cash, 1 million in cash and 200 pigs, 1 million in cash and 150 sheep, or 1 million in cash and 100 cows. It's your vote, it's your game. Head into the comment section down below, let us know which one you want, and of course don't forget to actually cast your vote in the top right hand corner. And as always, I have to record the Goldcrest Valley series all on the same day before I get to see any of your responses, so I'm not going to actually know until next week. I'm not going to know what the results are before recording any of the episodes of Okay, I've done that many a time in real life. I didn't think these pallets were quite that happy. Quite that heavy. I have floated the tractors and telehandlers in the air on the front wheels many times in real life. Sometimes quite intentionally, just for a bit of fun. Sometimes not quite so intelligently. Yeah, well, it's probably not all that intelligent to do it either, but it can be fun. So yeah, that one is rather heavy. I didn't expect it to be that heavy. There we go. We have reloaded, and I'll press H, and he should now just carry on. And hopefully, we're not going to encounter any issues down the bottom where he has decided to start going in the wrong direction. But crucially, we now need to change over. We need to go in here to our options, because we're not going to be doing this again. We're going to help her refill seed. You know, you've got fertilizer, slurry, manure, fuel. No, we don't want any of those. We're going to go help her refill seed buy. Yeah, so it's offer or buy. So we're going to buy that one. Go back through here and back. Now then, does it change straight away, and does it leave the pallet at 1977? It does. That's not changed. And look at the money ticking down. Okay. I didn't think this through. I'm kind of thinking, because I'm wondering if you've got to have a bit of the pallet on there. And I'm thinking that maybe we'll turn this off again, because that's very expensive. Turn that off. There we go. And what we'll do is we'll let that one use up this pallet. The Challenger over there is on 15%. And we'll stop that one when it gets to 1%. And then we can let this one use up a bit of the seed, and then maybe start them again. I don't know. Maybe we'll just change it over when the Challenger gets to 1%. You can't get money back for when you finish the pallet, but at the same time, I want this field to get finished. We'll just keep a close eye on what the Challenger is doing, I think. Yeah, that'd be the best way. Right. That stayer and the tractor and trailer that are both up here, we're now going to return those, and then I'm going to meet you back at the yard. Well, I was going to meet you back at the yard. I've returned the stuff that I was going to return, and I've leased some more items, and I have also set it back to the hired help buying all the seed and everything. I've also set it to buying fuel so that we can just sort of forget about these. However, it appears that we can't forget about them because I just came back to check on the voucher and it turned the wrong way. And I really don't know how to make sure that it doesn't do that, but it's slightly annoying because it means that we're going to have to check very carefully to make sure that he does go the right way next time across the field. So I'm just setting him going now, and then we'll have to come back and we'll have to check on him very shortly just to make sure that he's okay. But yeah, the money is now draining out rapidly, but I can live with that. I would rather just they got to move on and finish doing the planting, and then we can worry about other things. So I will meet you down at the yard. We have something else that we need to do now. Right then, we'll get this small, I say small, it's still a big trailer. We'll get the cramper trailer, and we're going to drag this one over around here. The sawmill has stopped because it has run out of room for the excess wood chips. And the problem that we had here previously was that it doesn't load the wood chips very easily. So we're going to try and get this one. Oop, wrong one. I want to be in this one a second. Start that one up. I want to just move it back out the way. Like that. And yeah, if I put it... Actually, I'm going to need to go a little bit closer now. So let's go to this one now. And I'll start this one up as well. And bring it round. This is kind of difficult because for some reason it doesn't just pull the wood chips in. You've got to keep kind of nudging it and poking at it, which does make it a little bit difficult to... See, if I jump forward, it kind of... It's making it... I don't know if is it making it disappear or not? I don't know. I think it was just charging the conveyor belt, actually. Right, and then I'll load that into there. But yeah, see, it seems to be moving it, but it's still saying full. It's a job to understand exactly what's going on with this, but I will turn off the engine on that one, and we'll come up here, and I'll move this one forward, bring that one up like that, and stop. Turn that engine off, and it should be, now, it should work okay to drag this underneath the conveyor belt, and then it should just start unloading some of those wood chips into here. And as soon as we've got this one completely full, we'll then be able to take it over and sell it. At least that's the plan. And plans always... See, now look at that. It's just not collecting them. If I go on here, if I move, I have to start it. If I move a bit, it does collect them. But you've actually got to stay here and you've got to nurse it through it, which that's the thing that I find slightly frustrating on this one. It's okay. It's not the end of the world, but like I said, it is slightly annoying that you've got no choice. You've got to be able to move it like that. I don't know if maybe we could bring this one. If I start it, if I bring this one close, I could perhaps load it on there, and then I could use this one and extend the belt. I can lower the belt. How do you extend it? Oh, it's that one. There. If I do that, and now I can just kind of just rock it backwards and forwards, and that should... It's working. Okay, so maybe we can do this. I was thinking that it was a bit of an issue, but no, it does appear. It's a lot. You just got to keep that front conveyor moving. So long as the front conveyor is moving, it does seem to gather most of the wood. I mean, we don't need to get every single last drop of wood chips out of here, because we can come back and we can get more. We're down to 12, 11. There we go. Right, that's just 300 litres of wood chips in there. That's practically nothing. And I'm going to let that one come out. And now what I'm going to do, the next idea is that I want to be able to gather up some of the wood chips that we've got lying around. Not just the 10,000 litres that we've got here. So, hang on. If I turn that... Oh no, I can't back up because the conveyor belt is up against that trailer. I want to go forward so that basically it shoves that one round a little bit. Now, if I go into this one, I just need to move the arm. Can't remember how to do it. Press F1. I got no way of moving that one. See the arm on the front? The hitch bit? That bit right there. You can move that one. If I jump in... Oh, maybe I can do it here. No. And it's not that one either. I'm going to have... I know what you've got to do. You've got to unfold it. You can't do it while it's folded up. If I go there... Detach. Right. That's what you've got to do. You do that and it's... Oh, no, I don't want to go on that one. It's difficult as well because the conveyor belts, they change. Right, now now I can move that one. If I lower that one down a little bit, and also move back a little bit like that, that should keep it close to the ground so that it'll work better for what I got planned next. So I'll turn that one off and... have I attached it? Oh, maybe I need to start the engine. Right, unload here. It might just... Oh, hang on. It might be because of the angle of it, doesn't it? Because remember, the hitches, they don't like this. I shouldn't have unhitched it, should I? This was my undoing, was I tried to unhitch it. I was trying to be clever so that we didn't have to do this and move this one round. Because what I'd like to do is I'd like to pick up a load of the wood chips today. But I'm going to have to do that in a minute. I can't do it just yet. There, now I can hitch it on. But it's kind of defeated the whole purpose of what I was trying to achieve. Let's come back. Oh, I want to go... that way, and if I go forwards I might be able to do this. You can steer it a little bit. It does let you do it a little bit, obviously not very well by the look of it, but still. Come round like that, and now if I just push forward in a straight line, that will bring it. There we go. Perfect. That's what I want. And then that one back there. Okay, so we're all set up. This is exactly where I want to... Oh, hang on. I need to go and check on that Valtra. Okay, the Valtra's doing what it should be. It's gone the right direction, so we can leave that one working. What we're doing now is we're going to nip over to the shop and we're going to pick up the other item that I've leased. And I leased it not a moment too soon. We're on minus $600 and it's dropping very fast. I'm curious to see just how much this planting of poplars is going to cost us. Although I suspect that we're going to make an absolute packet doing this. So, in the end, it's not going to be too bad. It's just kind of a temporary loss of funds. That's all it's going to be, is just temporary. So we don't really need to worry about it too much. So, we got to nip up to the shop. I might actually just meet you up there because, quite frankly, driving this thing around is not the most thrilling of experiences, and you've seen it all before. So, yeah, I will meet you. Remind me to check the eggs. You need to remind me to check the eggs. I realise that it's probably not going to do much good because I can't actually see reminders until we're recording next week's episodes. But there we go. You can still remind me to check the eggs. I'll see you at the shop in just a minute. Right. Our people are planting enthusiastically. The only thing is, says Poplar, it's very stripy for poplars. But I guess that's kind of to be expected, really. But hopefully it's still going to register the entire field as poplars. And then you got... the growth rate is kind of just striped over. I suppose we could plough it. I've really no idea. I've never done poplars before in my life. I've no idea what they're like. But anyway, we are here. We have got our new skid steer. That is what I came up to get. And if I pull forward like that, I've got several different implements that I thought it would get. We've got the Forestry edition, because a lot of people asking me if I could use the Forestry edition one because we've never used it before. I've driven not a JCB one, I've driven a Bobcat one of these. I've drove several Bobcat ones of these, and they're so much fun. Not one that is covered in a big grill like this, but it was, yeah, it's just a standard one without the grills and everything. They're so much fun to drive, especially if you're like doing a lot of different jobs in a day. It's the most different machine to drive out of a lot of them, because most machines, when you drive them, you've got pedals for going forwards and backwards, and you use your hands for loaders and other implements and stuff like that. Whereas these are completely the opposite. You use your hands for going forwards and backwards, and then the pedals are what you use for moving everything up and down, which makes the whole experience of driving a Bobcat completely different to driving a tractor. So you jump out of a tractor having just been using your foot to accelerate and brake, and then you get into one of these and you've got the levers to either side of you, that you push forward to go forward and you pull back to go back. So really the only brake that you've got. And so many people, you watch them get into these things, and you know, they're sort of going towards something, and the arm will start moving or something like that, and they go forwards, and it's very difficult for some people to change very quickly between the two. I genuinely love it, and it's something so much fun about driving these things as well. They're just, it's like, you know, it's difficult to describe. They're also very stable. You can bounce and throw them all over the place. They go, wheels go right up in the air. It takes a lot to get used to, mind. It really does take a lot to get used to the idea of the thing sort of bouncing up into the air. But even if it rolls right over on its side, it's not going to hurt you. It'd probably hurt your paycheck, because if you had a brand new Bobcat and then you rolled it onto its side the first day you used it, you're not likely to keep your job for very long. Or if you own the machine, you're not likely to. Yeah, well, you can't really afford to go doing that too often. But there we go. That's what we're going to be using. Oh, see, my joystick is really sensitive, and you probably notice sometimes that I just start drifting sideways like this. This is my joystick. It's not returning quite to 0. Reason being is, a lot of times when you set up a machine, when you set up a joystick or a steering wheel, something like that, you give it a dead zone. And what a dead zone does is there's a little bit in the middle when your joystick or your steering wheel returns back to its resting point. You set a what's called dead zone, so that you've got a little margin of error there. I think we'll put the beacon on because we've got a load on now. You got this like small margin of error, so that if I had a dead zone on my joystick, the sort of 1-2% area at the top point of where it rests, it would stop anything from moving. The problem I have with that is that I'm used to driving machines in real life, and I'm used to operating machines with joysticks. And so when you hold onto the joystick and you move it, and then you want to do really, really fine adjustments to it, and so you're just like nudging it a little bit, having a dead zone is really frustrating and off-putting. I don't like it at all. It's bad enough on a steering wheel, but I have conceded and I've put a 2% dead zone on my steering wheel. The game, I think, gives you like a 10% or even 15% dead zone. That's way too much for me. I put a 2% dead zone on there so that it will go straight. You can like nudge it a little bit and then it can go straight. It's a lot easier to get it to line up going straight if you've got that little 2% dead zone. But on a joystick, when you're getting that to go for your loader equipment, no way. There's no way I'm having a dead zone on that. It just feels too weird. When I'm trying to fine adjust picking something up, and I've got to keep going through a dead zone, it ends up giving me a much worse before I end up like really jerky movements and stuff. It's not good. I don't like it at all. So yeah, if you see, especially in a time lapse, I will stop sometimes. You'll just see me like drifting from side to side, ever so slightly. That's because my joystick hasn't quite returned to dead on 0, because I got no dead zone on it. I've got to really, really gently just touch the joystick a little bit in order to get it to line up perfectly straight. And sometimes it doesn't work quite properly, which is why you'll occasionally see me in time lapses just after it's only when I've been using loader machines. If you see that I've been using any kind of loader, and then afterwards I'm like just stood still just for a moment and moving ever so slightly side to side, that is why. It's because I'm trying to get my joystick to go back to exactly 0, and it's not quite going there. So yeah, just in case anybody was wondering, that's the answer to that one. Now then, we were actually supposed to be doing a lot of this today, but we haven't actually gotten here, and we are a good 3/4 of the way through our episode now. Wasn't quite part of the plan, but we've got a pallet of wood here, 4,000. I know it says wood chips, but it's not actually wood chips. And we're going to take this over to the shop that we're building. No, it's not a shop, is it? It's a factory. We're building the factory up here. We do want some more timber there. We don't actually need it at the moment, but we will have to bring some soon. But I'd rather finish building the thing up the top. I'm not quite sure how we're going to do that. We've got loading zone now. I don't want to go too close to that loading zone. Oh, it's 500. Does that mean that's full? I think that's full. Yeah, the bees aren't flying. We've got another one of these. That one is full. Oops. So we'll take this one, and I'm going to run this one up over here. And chuck it in there. So then we got 4 beehives there. This one's got 90. Is that full? I don't know if... Oh, I'll tell you what. We got to do this, haven't we? You go beehive 90s 100%. Yes, that one is full. So yeah, we would just have to lift the box off, because that one is the one that's done by hand. So if I just put that one down there for now, that one can carry on. That should start flying again in just a minute. And then this one over here, this one's got a pallet on it, so we're going to have to remove that one as well. This has only got 2 beehives at the moment. If we go in here and we press F1, we can see what we're up to. We've got honey, 500, that's 100%. Beehive is on 66, that's 41%, so we could get some more beehives on there. This one here is 1687, so it's got plenty of timber. The guy's working hard in the workshop over there. I love watching that animation, it's brilliant. And we come up here. The poplars seem to be doing okay. Let's just check on the map. Can we see on here? Well, they seem to be going okay. I might have to just nip up and check those again in a minute just to make sure that they're running alright. Minus 3,000. The money is ticking through so fast. It's almost painful to watch, really. So there's another load of timber gone up. We're going to have... What do we got? Oh, we're full. We're built, aren't we? Building timber, 74%. No, I still need more building timber. Then we want honey and we want milk. So obviously, oh, I know what we got to do. It's going to be like start building the tanks and stuff in here. This is the large PLCs in here. This is the kind of thing that used to run the machinery in the factory that I used to work in. I no longer work in that factory. It's one of the it's been a good 6 months now. Best decision I ever made. I worked there for more than a decade, and I must say, leaving there it's made me happier than I thought that it would. I didn't like the job, but I did it because it was well paid and it allowed me to do other things. And also because it allowed me to look... I mean, I told you all last week, I think it was, that my wife has got MS. So she does require some care and assistance. And so I stayed working in the factory for more than a decade because of the hours that we did. The way that it worked there was that you worked for 3 days, long shifts, and then you had 4 days off. And because of that shift pattern, I was able to look after my wife and work without too much difficulty. So yeah, I'm glad it's over. I don't need to do that anymore. It's yeah. It's been such a relief. I don't know if some of you I did actually have someone say that my videos have improved in quality an awful lot since a little while before Christmas. They seem more upbeat, and I didn't really want to say a lot about it because, well, it's kind of like repeating praise, and I'm not big on glorifying myself very much. But I do just want to point that out. The reason that generally sound happier is because I don't have that job anymore, and I hated that job. I know what it's like. Some people you've got to do a job that you really don't like. It's just one of those things that you've got to do, and it's not really something that you want to do, and circumstances dictate that you're kind of stuck with it for a while. I've been there. I know exactly what you're going through. There is light at the end of the tunnel, trust me. I found it. And yeah, sometimes it takes a bit of a leap of faith. Sometimes you've got to you've just kind of got to go with your gut a little bit. If it's making you that miserable, sometimes it's better just to sort of take the plunge and go for it and do something that you wouldn't normally have expected. Anyway, I suppose I shouldn't really be encouraging people to throw in the towel on their various jobs because yeah, the wrong person might give up on the wrong job. You make sure you've got you need an escape plan. That's what it is. If you've got a job that you really don't like, you want to start getting yourself an escape plan. So yeah, I come back and we've got the fence going. I got this short metal tech trailer. I thought this would be pretty good. If we go and get these bits of wood chips that are scattered around, and we can load them into both of these. If I bring that one up there like that and take the cover off, now some of these logs I can pick up and move by hand, which we have done. Some of them are too heavy. So I'm kind of hoping that we can come up through and we can scoop up wood chips and we can put them into this trailer, so we can clear up those there. There's more wood chips behind the shed over there. These are now working. But we need another full pallet on this sawmill before we can... what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, we want a full pallet on here. Oh, well, that's 3/4 of a pallet. And 1,700 there. Before we can finish building that one over there, we need a full pallet and then a little tiny bit as well, I think. So yeah, we'll get to that. That's probably going to be tomorrow's episode because it's getting late now, actually. 6:30. So what we'll have to do is, before next episode, I will sleep the night. I'm going to leave our tractors running all night up there. They're going to pull an all-nighter up in the field. I think they'll be fine. I've got complete faith in them. And hopefully we'll be able to finish most of the poplar planting tomorrow. So there's 800. Right. How easy is it to tip into this trailer? I know I'm sort of at a funny angle back here. Let's tip in there. Okay, so it does tip into the trailer, okay. It's not spilling on the floor. Nope. Going right in. Excellent. I do like this skid steer. I like the tracks. I've never driven one with tracks before. The skid steers that I used to drive, they were all wheeled ones. I drove some very rough-looking ones. There was one that was like brand spanking new. It was awesome. It was nice and shiny. Brilliant machine to drive. Great fun. And there's another one that was really, really old. I mean, it was like one of the first skid steers ever made. It was awful. The response on it was absolutely dreadful. You couldn't get it to do anything properly. It was jerky. And for those of you who've driven old machines, you probably know what I'm talking about. Some of those are absolutely terrible. You're trying to like manage the controls on some of the old machines. It's just simply an awful experience. But at the same time, it's great fun. You kind of gotta like driving machinery to understand where I'm coming from on that one, I think. Those of you who aren't like that into machines, it's just kind of something that you do for your job, and you know, you can take it or leave it. The challenge of trying to master an old, worn-out machine that does not work very well at all is probably not something that you would relish. You probably... I think that really it's kind of... I know quite a lot of people that just absolutely hate driving old machines. It's too difficult, and they're jerky and horrible. And then there's others that really love the challenge of it because it's difficult to do. Because it's not easy, it is an absolute challenge. Yes, it's uncomfortable, it's loud, it's noisy, very bad response on it and all the rest of it. But that's kind of part of the charm of it, really, I guess. Is that something that you would find... Yeah, have a chat about that today. I'd like to hear your responses. I will read them and hopefully I can respond to them. What do you think of driving old machinery? Those of you who have... Those of you who haven't, what would you like the chance to try driving ancient old machinery that is really worn out and is genuinely really, really difficult to actually operate? Because sometimes it can really try your patience. You can really get frustrated with trying to get the thing to operate properly, but at the same time it's loads and loads of fun. That's about all I can say about it. It's difficult to explain, but it's fun. It's lots and lots of fun. I really do like it. But anyway, I have just about run out of time, so we'll carry on getting some wood chips. If you've enjoyed... No, if you haven't, I can't go to that yet. We need our weekly questions. So, I'm moving to Gorale very soon, and in order to sort of start us off, hit the ground running when we get there, we're going to take at least $1 million. Well, it'll be actually euros by the time we get over there, because that's in Poland. Poland's not in euros, I don't think. I can't remember now. But anyway, we're going to be working in euros over there, but we'll just transfer it at a rate of 1-for-1 rather than worrying about current exchange rates. I think that would just keep things nice and simple. Excuse me a minute. Okay, yeah, sorry about that. Just had to have a bit of a drink. So yes, when we move, do you want me to take 1.5 million in cold hard cash? Would you like me to take 1 million in cash and start the game with 200 pigs? 1 million in cash and start the game with 150 sheep? Or 1 million in cash and start the game with 100 cows? Pick carefully. Think about it carefully. Do you want me to start with one of the types of animals and a pile of money, or a bigger pile of money sort of on its own, 1.5 million? We could get some stock and we could sort of concentrate on mostly on machinery and stuff instead of worrying too much about animals in the early stages. I really don't know how you want me to play this map out, so I'm really looking forward to seeing what your responses are. It's your vote, it's your game. Head into the comment section down below, let us know which one you want and why, and of course don't forget to actually cast your vote in the top right hand corner. If you've enjoyed this episode, then please head down below and give us a like, and if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me, get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. But until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.